Yes. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here, once again for video number 2 on your Taco Tuesday, August the 4th, 2026. Thank you all for watching once again right here on the Peter Joseph YouTube wrestling channel, youtube.com/Peter Joseph. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my goddamn hot pants, otherwise known as the description box below, where you can leave a comment. If you want to, you can leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, now, and in the future, Conan, but only stupid comments. You get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely with a baseball bat, and then Ozzy and Saint will just laugh at you, and then say, "Hey, you suck," and then eat your soul. So please don't do that. Don't anger Satan and Ozzy, because they're just going to eat your soul and then laugh at you after that. So go do it on somebody else's channel, because you ain't going to do it on mine. You don't like it? That's tough shit. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next video. Because if you miss anything on my respective channels, then you're pretty much SOL. You know what that means, and if you don't know what it means, freaking look it up, you lazy fucks. And that's pretty much it. So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all that other good shit. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the goddamn party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride as we are rolling on to 1,300 subscribers. We're getting close. Hopefully we'll get there by Labor Day. But on the road to 1,300, if you haven't subscribed now, do it. If you haven't subscribed, do it now. And when you do, well, welcome to the party, pal. Grab yourself a nice tasty cold one. Share the video with your friends and tell them to sub too. And then you all can sit back, relax, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. And if you like it, great. You don't, well, thanks for the free view. Anyway, assholes. That's that. You don't like me? Then get off my channel and let me do my thing. If not, then it's your problem and your funeral. It ain't gonna be mine. So you're obsessed because you got nothing else to do. So get out of here. Go live your garbage life, and I'll live my better life. Because I got better things to do than play around with a bunch of immature fucktards on this fucking website for 17 years. So, but it is what it is, because I'm your champ and you're not. So, worship me. It is what it is, because you can't beat me. So, you can claim you're the champ and you're not. Where's your belt? I don't have my belt. I'm the fucking champ of the universe, bitch. So, I'm the rank god. You can't, it's nobody. Nobody can outrant me. You know, Issa and Joe Cronin and a few other people, you know, on my level, but the rest of you, beneath me. So, keep sucking on it. That's all I gotta say about that. Like your girlfriend and moms do on a daily basis. So, that's it. Move on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, on your Tuesday evening, getting close to Tuesday night, August the 4th, 2026, check out my last video about Brock Lesnar retiring. Yes, sadly, he has officially retired from the sport of professional wrestling. We thought he was gonna have one more match, but Saturday night against Oba inside Hell in a Cell was it for him. You know, he said goodbye to his fans in Minneapolis, said goodbye to the WWE Universe, and professional wrestling as we know it. So, thank you, Brock. You're great. And we'll see what happens with all that. But check out the video. Link will be down below in the gobbledygook. And that's that. Alright, we got NXT, a new episode of NXT coming up in about a half hour or so from now. Should be great. Kendall Gray and Lola Vice inside, pretty much inside the NXT Underground, where Lola has not lost. I think she will tonight. Kendall Gray will retain. Lola will pretty much, it'll be a last hurrah. The final match in NXT. Then she's going to Triple A. And then eventually to the main roster to be with Poppy Priest. And we'll see how she does on the SmackDown roster. And that's pretty much it. But before we get to that, for tonight's episode, let's go back a week. And I apologize for not getting the videos up on time. I'm very busy with other things and living a life, you know. I got a life, so I can't do it right away. But in any case, ladies and gentlemen, as the title below says, after 5 minutes of spiel, which you clipped and you got nothing else to watch, Because you don't like me talking about wrestling, so go fuck yourself, bitch. Go some more. Well, not well, this too. You know, drink a nice tasty cold one on me, but I don't give a shit. It's a straight Pepsi, baby. Straight Pepsi. You don't believe me? You wanna keep saying I drink alcohol? Where here's the real deal, baby. Oh, it's alcohol in it. You mixed it, yeah. Okay. Prove I actually did that. I'll wait another 5 years for you fuckers to actually prove things that I drink when I don't. I'm a social drinker. I admit that. I'm a social drinker. But full-blown alcoholic? No. I don't drink on stream. One time I did, and that was like years ago. Now I don't drink on stream. I have it right by my side, as always. Sometimes I don't even have a drink on my side. You know? Maybe I don't want to have a drink, have a drink like a Pepsi or water or whatever. You know? I'm entitled to drink whatever the fuck I want. You don't have to tell me what to do. Because all you do is yap, and slander my name. Call me the P word and call me an alcoholic when I'm not. When I admitted that I'm a social drinker, which does not mean I'm an alcoholic. I'll have 1, maybe 2 drinks when I go out to a party or a concert or whatever I go out to. I'm entitled to that. But you people, drink up the wazoo and do boring live streams or videos or whatever you do. It's boring. You just act like a complete imbecile with no brain. But go ahead and mock me. Go ahead. I don't give a shit. I don't. Get alcohol poisoning for all I care, because I don't drink. So, if you can moderate, I mean, good for you. But if you're going to just come on YouTube every so often and just drink and smoke all fucking, for a couple of hours or 2 or more, who knows, whatever, I don't care. I personally don't care. You're just acting like an imbecile with no brain when you just do a regular video like I'm doing right now. Not even having a drink, maybe a minuscule drink. Yeah, go smoke a little bit, and that's fine. But I mean, you're gonna act like a complete asshole for an hour or 2 or 3, 4, 5, whatever. Then it doesn't even pay to do it because I mean, yeah, you're getting subs and everything, people watching and shit, but you're acting like a complete moron. That throws people off. I'm just being real. If you don't like what I'm saying, then too bad. But have fun in your garbage channels and your garbage live streams. I really don't care. But thank you for the attention anyway. And thank you for the free views when you use my content. The same. That's all you got. That's all you got is using my content. That's it. Anyway, minus all that, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this video, ladies and gentlemen. As the title below says, we're going to talk about NXT from last week, so it is time for your really late and so far out of really fucking date NXT review for last week, July the 28th, 2026. Still, back home at home base in the parking lot of Nickelodeon Studios in the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. Alright, as always, on Tuesday nights, our commentary team, the man with the creepy jacket, and he has lots of candy for himself. Well, Vic, Joseph, your Halloween's coming up. You might want to get rid of that candy you still have in your closet. But anyway, Vic, Joseph, and a man who, he's a simp, he's a legend, a two-time Hall of Famer, 6-time World Heavyweight Champion. You know him, you love him, you can't get enough of him. Black Snow, oh yeah, man, oh yeah, Booker T, sucker! Oh yeah, Kool-Aid, oh yeah! Okay. The Kool-Aid Man. Booker T. Good trouble, consequence queen, oh yeah, Booker T. Okay. Alright, so last week's show, pretty good. We'll get to that. We had the debut of Mike Santana, now known as Cruz Montana. And we're going to hear from him and maybe my cousin Tony D. So we got that. So we start off with a recap of my cousin Tony D retaining over Eve here on Narako in that street fight last week. And then we saw after that, Mike Santana making his debut, and basically just staring down Tony D. Possible Heat Wave main event. We'll see. We got that. All right, so we're starting the show. We go right to Vic Joseph and Booker T, and then we get cut off by this guy. I'm like, what happened to this guy? Holy crap, he's back. He did it. Grayson Waller. He comes out and cuts the most epic pipe bomb since CM Punk circa 2011. Holy shit, this was it was not even a pipe bomb, it was a nuke to the main roster, not even the main roster, the NXT roster. He's like, what happened to me the last 2 years? I talk about, what's been going on with him for the last 2 years. He's been carrying people like Austin Theory, and then last time we saw him was at a funeral for Big E. Then, he could show up to catering once a week for some salt and pepper chicken. You meant sweet and sour chicken there, Grayson, right? Because, well, he's not there anymore, but I was going to say Titus O'Neil catering. That's not Titus O'Neil because he's gone. I don't know what happened to Titus. Who runs catering now? I don't even know. I don't even know who runs catering these days anyway. Maybe, I was going to say Tamina, because Tamina's still on the payroll. If you think about it, she's still there. It's amazing. Maybe she's running catering, I don't know. Anyway, so, blah, blah, blah. So he's like, I could show up to catering once a week for some sweet and sour chicken. And then here comes the biggest star around, and that means winning the NXT title. So I guess they demoted him back to NXT. Make it go on a nice little NXT title, not a run per se, go after the NXT title and make it mean something again. And who's going to stop him? Mike Santana. That would be the former TNA champion. And he's like, oh, I love your new name, by the way. Catchy. Shit. He's like, hey, Tony D, you going to stop me? I'm going to send you home to your ugly Oh, whoa. Ugly baby, you do know Tony D's Italian like me, and Italians are known for making great-looking babies. I just want to point that out there, you Aussie fuck. I love the promo, but do not, for the love of God, ever utter something about my cousin's lovely baby boy. Fuck you, Grayson, on that one. But anyway. Then everybody's like, oh, he mentioned the baby, you can't go there. And then he's like, hey, HBK, why don't you bring some of your guys out to come fix me, or something like that. That doesn't happen. And he's like, alright, you know what, I'm going to be real, and, Shawn Michaels like, oh, he's finally making sense. He's making, he's being real. And he is. He was like off the cuff. I was like, holy shit. Where was this Grayson Waller back in NXT and on the main roster? Anyway, he's like, the men are soft, they're complacent, and the women are running laps around them. Pretty much. That's, I hate saying it in front of my cousin. I'm sorry, cousin, but it's true. But anyway, he loves me anyway. But the women are just phenomenal women. Lola Vice, Kendall Gray, Kaylani Jordan, and now you got Nikki Martinez or Rena Fulton, and, Tatum Paxley, who's going to the main roster soon. Some ways Dia Hale. Even back in the day, Blake Monroe. Something like that. They're running laps around NXT, and then he mocks people who wrestle for a bit, like on the, talks about they wrestle for a little bit, then they spend most of their time in the medical room. Little knock to Jasper Troy, who got really mad Pastor Troy got mad on Twitter. You don't want to mess with Pastor Troy. And pretty much everybody else that rarely gets on TV. Then he talks about the independent stores who show up and go nuts in the ring, and then, but I have no idea how to use a mic. Ooh. There's a lot of independent guys I know that are, on the WWE radar. They're great. One guy's a great heel. He's great on the mic. Darius Carter. They need to sign that guy. I'm sorry. He would be a mega heel. Not like MJF level heel, but kind of close to it. Anyway. So he's like, I know Sean's freaking out because, he's smiling from ear to ear because Grayson's speaking the truth. Then, finally, his mic cuts out. Then he goes right to the camera and says, consider your cages rattled. And that was it. And then next thing we know, we see him outside, and like Robbie E's like, oh, we need to talk to him. So I don't know what's gonna happen tonight with Grayson Waller and Mike Santana, Tony D. Woo! Sign me up for the next 20 minutes. I am ready for NXT tonight. But this segment, 5 out of 5 to start the show. It was like, what the hell? That's how you open a show, with like, what the fuck? I liked it. 5 out of 5. The Pipebomb of 2026, basically. There you go. So Punky Brewster, you got one upped. And that's all I gotta say about that. So good, so great Pipebomb from Punk. But Grayson, woo! Boom! He nuked that one. That's it. Alright, now we get to the actual NXT part of the show. We got Tavion Heights and Miles, so call him Ozzy Osbourne, ready to fight. Miles is going to be taking on Cam Hendricks. He's going to defend his North American title against Cam Hendricks, Mr. Dupree, of course. And if he wins, him and Tavion get a tag team title shot against the Vanity Project. And then Mason Rook, he's big, he's bad, he'll body slam your fucking dad. He comes in, doesn't like what Grayson said, so he's going to go beat up Cam Hendricks. I'm like, whoa. And then Miles like, whoa, I'll take care of him. So, Mason wants Cam Hendricks for what he did to him, kind of injuring him, put him on the shelf a little bit, and now that he's back, he wants Mr. Dupree in the worst way, and not in a good way either, Because, we all know Maxine's getting it from Austin Theory. I mean, that's a given. I don't care if you're acting, you're still fucking. You're fucking in the back, come on. Who wouldn't want to bang Maxine Dupree? And to coincide that, who wants to bang Cam Hendricks? The guy looks like the Timu Rock. Pfft. Fuck him. I mean, not literally fuck him, but fuck him! Maxine, you deserve better than that dude. Guy's garbage on the mic, too. I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on. Alright, first match out of the gate. Well, we have the battle of Lizzie versus Izzy. So we have the resident rocker chick. Rock on, ladies and gentlemen. Rock on! Lizzie Rain takes on, well, they're still talking about the cuckling. I don't know why, but Izzy Dame with Nico at ringside. Fun match for 12.5 minutes. We get to the end. Lizzie spears Izzy, and then Nico falls a distraction, and then the chairman of the board, Sean Spears, appears behind Nico with a black hood. I mean, you knew it was him. He takes off the hood, he's like, hey, look at me! And he scares Nico with the chair. Izzy is distracted as well. And then Lizzie hits Thunderstruck! I can't even do it. Hits Thunderstruck! 1, 2, 3. Lizzie gets the win over Izzy. Decent match, 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's it. So, the Sean Spears, Nico, Izzy, coupling debacle continues on. We'll see what happens with that tonight, and a whole lot more on NXT. Moving on. Alright, then we go into the back area, almost near the catering area, with Mike Santana. He's in the building, meets up with the resident painter, Romeo Moreno, and Noam Dar. I can't even do it. I know a guy that does a great Noam Dar impression. Spot on, by the way. I do a spot on. Bad news, Wade Barrett. And I'm afraid I got some bad news for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Wade Barrett, and I can't even do a Noam Dar impression because he's from the same country as me. That's sad, Michael Cole. Prove me wrong on that. Anyway, so he comes in and talks to Romeo Moreno and Noam Dar, and then Saquon Sugars, Stripper Sugars, comes in, and then Noam Dar and Romeo apologized to him for losing to Dark State last week, or the week before, and then Cruiserman was meeting Saquon, getting into it with him, but then Saquon's like, no, I'm not the same guy I was before, I'm a changed man. Prison changes a man. Ask Dom that one. Dom's an OG, by the way. That's right, my son is an OG. He's an original guerrero. That's true, Eddie. But he did hard time and he survived. He didn't have to go do hard time. I kicked him out. I bailed him out anyway. I thought it was Finn and Priest bailed him out and Mommy. Well, that's true. Mommy bailed him out, but I had the money anyway. Okay. Because I got lots of money, by the way. I didn't know you had money in there. Do you have a bank account up there? Huh. Yeah, we have the golden bank up here. It's crazy. It's like holy, essay. Took me 5 hours to get my money out of the bank. I don't know what was going on there, pero. Maybe all those billionaires that died are, at the head of the line, Eddie. Yeah, they don't open another one for like the less fortunate people like me. Well, you're not that less fortunate, Eddie. What do you mean? I come from the barrio. I lied, cheated, steal. I still made a lot of money doing that, but, I came from the barrio. Okay. Okay, Eddie. Thank you. Oh, have a great show. Bye, Ed. Adios. Okay, get out of here. I'm sorry. I just lost my Latin American base now. Holy shit. I'm going to get letters. I don't care. Thank you for the fan mail. But I digress. Anyway, so Saquon's like, I'm a changed man, and I hope Santana will see that, and Santana is like, yeah, sure, right. And then Kaylani Jordan, Mrs. Him, who had a nice, if you follow her on Instagram and Twitter, she had a nice bachelorette party, where she's about to get hitched to him, Mr. Carmelo Hayes, pretty soon. So that's why Mello is out of action right now because of what Baron Corbin did to him, and now Kaylani is probably gonna be taking some time off too because they're gonna get married, go on their honeymoon, fuck, and then they'll be back probably by the end of the year. I don't know, maybe before Survivor Series. I don't know. We get that. All right, so Kaylani Jordan comes in, says this place is unfair, and then she's ranting and raving, and Mike Sanders is like, yeah, I gotta go somewhere. And he's like, he leaves, and then kind of like, see, nobody wants to talk to me. See what happens when you burn bridges there, Kaylani? I love you, but, it is what it is. Alright, after that, I gave that segment 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we go to Robbie E's office. He's there with the Vanity Project. Brad Baylor, Ricky Smokes, Micah Lockwood, and Jackson Drake. They complain about possibly having to defend against Miles and Tavion. They're not scared, but then this guy comes in, Timu Oba, Femi, Kiana Carver. He wants a third match against E.J. Prosper or Eli Knight. He wants that. We get it this week. So Robbie E agrees, saying that was way too easy. I didn't have to pee my pants. So anyway, then he gets a phone call from he did it, Grayson Waller, and Robbie E says, "Get back here because we're not done talking." When were you talking before? We never saw that. But we do see him outside saying, I'm the next big thing, this and that. I'm like, why couldn't we get segments with Grayson talking to HBK or talking to freaking Robbie E? Are we gonna maybe get it tonight? Maybe. I don't know. Alright, so 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then after that, we get a video for Lola Isis and Kendall Gray in the Underground. Lola talks about how hard she had to work to get to NXT and become NXT Women's Champion and Mixed Tag Team Champion before she and Mr. Iguana lost it to Hydra and I forget the other guy. We get that. Alright, so we move on with that. Alright, then in the women's locker room, we have Ms. Parker! Ms. Parker! Yeah! Ms. Parker! They got like Jay Uso's banging these days, you lucky bastard. Yeah! Anyway, Jada Parker! She's talking to Thea Hale. They're happy with how things are going as of late. Jada thanks Thea for helping her last week in that match with, I think it was Natty. They have a tag match next week against Nikita Lyons, the Evolve Women's Champion, and, member of Pelos del Mal, that's Carmen Petrovic. So, should be an interesting little tussle, if you will. We get that. 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, back to the ring we go for the men's North American title. We have Mr. Dupree, Cam Hendricks, or Anthony Luke, taking on Miles Oklahoma, Ozzy Osbourne. Decent match, 12-minute match. Mason Rook comes out, then Tavion's like, "Hey, whoa, no, I need him to win. We have a tag team title match. Come on, don't touch him yet." So we get that, and Tavion has to stop him, and that distraction led to Miles hitting a pop-up Born Again, or zigzag. 1, 2, 3, and still your men's North American champion, Miles Oklahoma Ozzy Osbourne, in 12 minutes. Good match. 3 out of 5 stars for that. Then after the match, Macy goes after Cam Hendricks. Then the Vanity Project come in, jump Miles Oklahoma Ozzy Osbourne and Tavion Heights. That gets broken up, I think, by Mason Rook, and Vanity Project is all cleared out. So we'll see what happens tonight on the program for the tag team titles. And there you go. Moving on. Alright, after that, we go to back, where in Robbie E's office once again, Lizzie Rain, resident rocker chick, has some KFC popcorn chicken. I had some last week, actually. That popcorn chicken. You know, I never tried popcorn. I tried popcorn shrimp way back in the day. I never tried it before in my life. And then when I was in college, one day I went into the cafeteria, and like looking for something to eat. I was maybe having a chicken patty or maybe a burger, and then next thing I know, I look around the chicken station, or the seafood station, and there's popcorn shrimp. I'm like, how's this taste? And like, it's very good. Try it. I'm like, okay. Grabbed a big plate of it, took it out, and it cost me like a couple with the soda, of course. It was like, I forget how much it was, but anyway, it's college. You have to pay for your shit. Not like high school, you give them a ticket, or you bring your own lunch, but I paid I think it was like $5-10, I think it was, somewhere around that area. And I tried the popcorn shrimp, I was like, damn! And every so often I go to the cafeteria, when I had a break, besides going into the library and going on the internet and shit like that, back in the day. But, because I had to study and research and talk to hot chicks online, but another story for all the time. But, yeah, I went to the cafeteria almost all the time. That's all I got was popcorn chicken. I'd get a burger with some fries and a soda. Whatever I wanted. It was good stuff. But that KFC popcorn chicken tastes good. Way better than Domino's. Just saying. Not to say Domino's popcorn chicken is, boneless chicken, I should say. Not popcorn, but boneless chicken that's on point. I give them that. That's the only good thing. Besides their chicken parm sandwiches, that's the only thing I would ever order from Domino's. But I don't even eat Domino's anymore, so fuck Domino's. But another story for another time. KFC popcorn chicken is GOAT. Is the GOAT. Is great. Anyway, so we get that. Alright, so Lizzie Rain loves the popcorn chicken, and then Order! My buddy Tristan Angels follows me on X. He comes in and basically says, you need a better role model. Oh. Well, what better role model to have than Tristan Angels, my friend? Because he believes in dingo love, just like the rhythm of my heart. Something like that. I believe in a dingo love! Okay. Oh, you gotta love the darkness. If you don't, what is wrong with you? They're a rocker. I wouldn't say they're all on the same level as Oasis, but Oasis is pretty much gone. They had that semi-reunion, but the Darkness, they still rock and they're still around. Here and there. But, But that's who Tristan Angels looks like. He looks like Jason Hawkins from the lead singer of The Darkness. That's what he looks like. That's what we call him, Timo Darkness Guy. Move on. Alright, so I give that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Moving on. Alright, Delta wants her next challenger for her women's North American title, and then my girl Maddie Rankowski comes in and says, I want to be your next challenger. So Robbie E gives her a title shot. He's like, I don't think this is the best idea. So anyway, it's not for the speed title. I thought it was advertised as for the speed title tonight, by the way. Anyway, so it actually is for the women's North American title. So it's not for the speed title. So if Maddie wins, she obviously gets the women's North American title. But if Delta wins, she gets a future women's speed title shot. So I guess she doesn't even have to go into the women's speed tournament to to win it. She gets it right then and there, whether Maddie has it or not. So big stakes for Delta tonight. I think she will beat Maddie, my girl, sadly, and then get a future speed title shot, whatever that is. Maybe by Heat Wave. Well, we'll see. All right, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. All right, back to the ring we go. We have tag team action play. We got Birthmark of Stacks Mahomes with his hot wife, Ariana Grace. He's there with Oriah Connors. He's teaming up with Oriah Connors, and Charlie Dempsey's there as well. We all know that. All right, they take on OTM Out the Mud, and that's Bronco Nima and Lucius Price. Well, not so good, Al, for OTM as, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, two members of Benos del Mal, they're like, hey, how's it going, buddy? Bronco Nima, member of Perros del Mal. They cause a distraction, and he goes out and is like, hey, get out of here. I'm trying to have a tag team match with my brother, Lucius Price. And then that distraction led to Stacks with a kick to head, pins Lucius Price in under 9 minutes. And then after the match, oh boy, Lucius Price is not too happy with his brother, Bronco Nima. So it looks like they're breaking up OTM, which I don't think is a good idea. Because there's no tag teams in NXT. Shows you how much Hunter and HBK think about the tag team division. Just saying. Alright, so the match was meh. 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we hear from Kendall Gray. She's training hard for Lola Vice in the Underground. Been training extra hard in amateur wrestling. We see the Creed Brothers training her, which I think is nice. We see a little Creed Brothers reunion. Not a reunion per se, but we see them, finally. Now, can we get, what's her name? Can we get Ivy Nile back on TV, please? I'm just saying. Or just bring her back to NXT with the Creeds. They're not doing anything. I mean, American Made is pretty much history. And now, like, Chad Gable is a good guy, and he's the Intercontinental Champion now. American Made is pretty much American gone. Goodbye. That's it. Alright, then we hear from Kaylee Armstrong, former star of LVG, former Evolve Women's Champion. She wants a title shot, but then Izzy Dame and Kaylani come in and say, no, we get match. Triple threat? Well, we don't hear from that. We don't get that. Alright, so 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we go back to the ring. My boy Shiloh Hill follows me on Twitter. Great guy. Once in a while, he'll hit me up every so often along with Kristen Angels. So, they fight. I think this is for the 3rd time. And, Shiloh came out with new gear, which I thought was nice. So, they go at it for about almost 10.5 minutes. And then, get to the end. Tristan catches Shiloh on top with a superplex when they fall. They go to the outside. Shiloh gets sent into the ring steps. Ow! And then a powerbomb on the announcer's table. There goes Vic Joseph's candy again. Oh, he got mad. Every time! Well, don't put your candy on the announce table next time, you fuck. Put it in your pocket. Or put it on the floor somewhere. We'll put it in a box, somewhere that it won't get thrown all over the fucking place. Come on, man. Big Vic, stop fucking around. Anyway, So Shiloh with a powerbomb through the announcer's table brings him back in for a near fall. He shoulders out in the corner, then hits his new finisher called the Super Thunderbreaker. 1, 2, 3, he pins Tristan again. 3 in a row for Mr. Shiloh. Under 10.5 minutes, decent match, 3 out of 5 stars, and that's it. Alright, then we get to the main, the end of the show. Mike Santana comes out. He's like, I worked hard to get to NXT. Want to be the kind of star that his daughter deserves. And along the way, I was told that I had reached my ceiling as a tag team wrestler along with Mr. Ortiz. He's now in Ring of Honor. He's like, I didn't accept that. Became the biggest star in TNA. Became the TNA heavyweight champion. He's great for the TNA for everything that he did there. But now he wants to show he can do this with the bigger names in wrestling. You know, get it to a bigger stage, per se. He wants to become the NXT champion. And if he has to go through Grayson Waller, then we can meet in any YMCA that Grayson wants. Ow! Little dig to the indies, you know, wrestling in bingo halls and shit. Anyway, then my cousin, he comes out. By the way, we gotta put on NXT right now. It's 8:01. Alright, we're live. Okay, so my cousin, Tony D'Angelo, he comes out, introduces himself as he's like, hi, my name is Tony D. I'm the NXT champion. Great to see you. Now, and he's ready to show Mike Santana what he'll do to keep his spot. They're ready to go, and then Grayson Waller comes out, swings he comes out, and Mike Santana accidentally hits my cousin. And then all three of them stare at each other to end the show, as we're getting a recap for this week's show. So, nothing new, but possibly maybe a triple threat match for the NXT title with my cousin Tony D, Grayson Waller, and now Mike Santana. Maybe you throw the Rocker in just for shits and giggles. I don't know what's going to happen with Evil. I don't know. So we'll see what happens with that tonight. But great promo, great segment, and I liked it. So 3.5 out of 5 stars for that. And we move on with that. Alright, that ends NXT from last week. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Alright, so NXT from last week. I thought it was a pretty good show. 7.25 out of 10 stars for the show. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Like Trick Willie would say, let's talk about it. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.